I think it was just until 2020, and then 2020 we went all in with it in every way. And I guess that's early. In 2025 talk, it's pretty early.
I think we're all early. I think in the grand scheme of things with Bitcoin.
Oh, I like that answer. That's a good one. I like that. I got to go with that from now on. That's going to become part of my vernacular.
We like to say that in this space, we're all early. And, ideally, as Bo Hines has said, maybe for thousands of years to come, Bitcoin remains this store of value for people. So ideally, we're all very early to this very new piece of, this new technology. You've talked a little bit, so this is obviously a very business-friendly administration. You're all coming from the worlds of traditional finance and all of this. You talked a little bit about an investment accelerator. I was hoping maybe you could comment a little bit more on that, and maybe how you're helping to take some of your business acumen and to offer that to some of the organizations or companies that you'll be supporting.
So my department, the Commerce Department, has launched the Investment Accelerator. What that means, it's sort of, right, IA, not AI, like that, Investment Accelerator, but the idea is when firms and companies want to invest in America, right? If they're going to be over $1 billion investment, let's help them. Let's clear the regulations. Let's help them get the permits. Let's be business friendly. And then if they're investing $10 billion, let's assign someone for white glove service. I mean, a full-time person who's available for them. They can call at any time and all the time, who will make sure that they get the service they deserve from America. So imagine the greatest country in the world actually caring for people who want to invest. And we're doing all sorts of interesting things. I'll give you an example. We're going to make it, if you want to mine Bitcoin and you find the right place to do it, you can build your own power plant next to it. I mean, think about that for a second. You don't have to necessarily be on the grid, right? So, and you're going to see this happen, which is miners are going to put their data centers on top of gas fields, right? And then put a plant right next to them so that they won't be beholden to the drawing power and listening to all the stories about, oh, you're taking too much power and now the cost of operating my refrigerator is higher and all the things we have to deal with now. What you'll see is the next generation of miners in America will be able to control their destiny, control the cost of power. And I think that is going to turbocharge Bitcoin mining in America. And so the idea is for the Investment Accelerator to help people, as an example, who have those kind of ideas. How do they get those permits? How do you execute on that plan? You call the Investment Accelerator and we help you execute it.
Amazing. Would that incentivize people looking for maybe cheap renewable resources, and which would also help the Bitcoin narrative of like people using maybe more hydroelectric power, or as you referred to, maybe using flared gas to maybe capitalizing on that more, methane emissions from dumps? Is that what you have in mind? Okay.
See, exactly. So hydro for sure, right? All these, this allows, because the people who are in the Bitcoin community, they are incredibly entrepreneurial. I mean, that's why they're there in the first place, right? This is sort of the crux of entrepreneurial spirit, and so they'll go figure out, because these are sharp people, and they'll go figure out, okay, let's go harness America. Let's do this in America. America wants us to mine in America. Let's go figure out how to do it. Hydro will be great. Flaring, you'll have all sorts of ways to create cheap power, and that cheap power will be off the grid, and they'll be mining it, right? And I think this is going to create a boom in Bitcoin mining in America.
Is a Bitcoin ETF the same as owning Bitcoin directly? While Bitcoin ETFs might offer a familiar face, they lack the true ownership and flexibility of directly investing in Bitcoin. With iTrust Capital, you can buy and sell real Bitcoin 24/7 with the tax advantages of an IRA. Real Bitcoin means no middleman, no restricted stock market hours. Choose the path of direct Bitcoin investment with iTrust Capital, because access equals opportunity. Invest in Bitcoin at itrustcapital.com today.
and I know President Trump has talked a lot about the Bitcoin being made in America, more mining in America. There is one small concern that the community has, and it's that if there's too much mining happening in one country, then there's potentially a risk of censorship, which would potentially undermine maybe some of Bitcoin's value proposition. What would you say to that community? I mean, it doesn't seem that, especially compared to the previous administration, that there's any sort of intent to do something like that, to say we're going to be censoring. But is this a concern that people should have, or not necessarily?
I don't think so. I think America is the most extraordinary business place on the earth. I don't know where you're going to pick. I mean, what's the plan B of America? Right? Like, I mean, what's better, or where do I go from here? It's just not attractive. So the idea is figure out how to win in America, and that's how you get to the highest highs. So, and I think everybody watching this podcast is going to be nodding their head in agreement, because we all know that the American economy and the American entrepreneurship is the place to be. You have Donald Trump in the White House. This is unbelievable opportunity. He's going to unleash that opportunity, and I think our community is going to have the best time doing it.